All right, so my daughter did a testimony. I've heard from multiple places that it's making its rounds on Facebook. Let me tell you something. You people who are saying, "Oh, this means her testimony means that Jamal doesn't believe in father." I heard that one. The second one was she's the daughter of a well-known um, trader. Okay, you people are living in an ignorant fiction. You're attacking someone who would stand up for the true identity that you possess that you don't know you possess. You need to stop. I sent my daughters to GPA so that they could learn about mobilization of spirit world. I told them not to get involved with the politics because the politics of sanctuary church and the family fed is completely ignorant. This is the realm of fourth Adam. This is not the realm of kissing a new person in a lineal progression's ass. Fourth Adam is not a person. It is not a single successor. I mean, I don't understand why you don't understand, you know, what fourth Adam is. Everything, all this mess would be cleaned up if you understood what fourth Adam is. You wouldn't persecute me. I didn't betray the king. The king betrayed, the so-called king betrayed his own creed of upside down kingdom, which is married with the concept of fourth Adam. I helped him because of his potential to help God and true Father bring about the realm beyond the past. Father talked about we have to go beyond the past and to join Father in the realm of fourth Adam. That is the only reason why I chose to help Hyunjin after he didn't seem to understand the necessity for true mother. There's such a solid necessity for true mother that even if true mother doesn't understand her own necessity, the true reality of the principle does understand her necessity. If your mother was legally married to your father, and your father was a true man of God's lineage, and she was catatonic, okay, or she was like a flaming idiot, you still get the distinction of being a true son or true daughter if you come from the belly of that woman. So she's not disqualified for her latter days folly. I don't tell my kids to read the Red Chun Sung Young, idiots, because father consecrated the 8 textbooks. I don't tell my kids that to honor the changing of the DP. Like, leave me alone, okay? As far as I'm concerned, the people who enabled Hyunjin were enabling a false concept of successor, okay? So that means that the true concept of successor was betrayed by all of you. You don't know the true concept of successor. And I guess I wasn't the right skin color. Yeah, fuck you about using the race card, okay? Because, you know, I defended Hyunjin. You know, I'm proud of the time to spend time with Hyunjin. I felt called to Pennsylvania to do that. I'm not riffing about that. I also saw that he's on the edge of fourth Adamism because of Upside Down Kingdom. After he moved into Cookjin's house, he said we all should wear crowns. Well, it's an external symbolism, but the internal meaning is that we're all inheritors. Okay? So he dissolved the matching agreement on the grounds that I didn't obey him. Well, that violates the fourth Adamic principle of follow conscience above God. I conscientiously cannot lift Hyunjin up, right? And here's the thing. If all of you understood fourth Adam, you wouldn't lift him up either. You'd make him go back to the workshop and come up with a better theory, okay? If lifting him up meant that you would never occupy the role of fourth Adam. Like, he's the only one who, you know, H1's people got that shit wrong too, okay? So, like, don't come at me and don't look. In the end, and I'm saying this clearly, in the end, you will have wanted to be more like me, a person who understands that by coming from the sex organs of true parents, I am heir. A person who understands that growth or spiritual awakening is about coming to understand the meaning of the fact that they made you through their sex organs, okay? The only way that father is a dictator, the only way in the ideal realm, Adam would not have been a dictator. Adam's dictatorial power only exists in whether or not he's going to have sex in that night, thereby choosing a particular sperm that meets the egg of that month so that you could have that particular DNA. If he doesn't want to have sex with his wife that night, he is choosing not to authorize the creation of you, okay? I mean, father said in owner, peace, owner lineage, but a lot of people are too squeamish to talk about that. I'm not betraying that. And I'm not betraying the fact that I am his offspring. He traded true children for me. And even if I feel like I have a lot of problems, I don't want to take his success away. He successfully created a fallen man into a true child. Okay. He successfully did that. If I sit here and doubt it on the merits of, or my demerits, my merits or demerits, okay, then I'm missing the point. Okay. Um, that's why I'm an heir. My children are heirs. My children are going to grow up knowing who they are because this is very serious to me. And that's why I left you. And my leaving Sanctuary was not a form of betrayal. It was self-defense because you people were betraying me. Okay? I didn't want anything to happen to Lourdes. Lourdes can go to her own place and I can be liberated from Lourdes by not being around Lourdes. I only wanted to actuate or affect a substantiation of the upside down kingdom, which Youngjin supposedly was supposed to be championing. Once he saw all of you people come after me, gag order and everything, he should have stepped in, okay? But he wanted me to carry the entire weight. Well, I was happy to carry the weight, being hated by you people, coming after me on the grounds of my language, everything you could throw at me. He watched it happen. He even said to me, "Oh, maybe nobody cares about this court situation." I was like, "Well, both sides care. I got people that want to file against Lourdes next because she kept messing with people, and the people that circled the wagons around Lourdes were willing to do gag orders and everything to make what I was trying to do, upside down kingdom, what I was trying to do." A substantial manifestation of upside down kingdom. They were trying to thwart me. I had said to myself, the only way that I'll quit on this path of trying to set a condition of an upside down kingdom is if they stupidly, wickedly come after my children. Well, they did that. So what do you want me to do? Let people abuse my kids, come after my kids with the story that, oh, because you're that guy's child, that's why your life is suffering. Like you're going to literally fuck with my kids. How about this? I chose my kids. I refuse to betray my kids just for the notoriety of setting a historical condition. I'm not that, that much pie in the sky with that. If I don't set the condition of substantiated upside down kingdom, I don't have to be the guy to do it. Okay. I'm responsible to my kids. I wouldn't betray my kids. So I acted to defend my kids, to distance my kids from sycophants and people who didn't understand that they should not come after me. People who should understand that the only reason why the realm of church and Cain-Abel hierarchy, and all these people that want to create church, they are offended by liberated people. The angelic world, some of them were offended by the advent of Adam. The Israelites, some of them were offended by the advent of the second Adam, Jesus. Korean Christian realm in 1945 was offended by the advent of the third Adam, true Father. And when Father put away his John the Baptist hat and completed the completed testament age by 1999, he created the realm of fourth Adam, a realm not requiring indemnity. Go read October 24th, the realm of fourth Adam, okay? If you're wicked and you cherry pick it against me, you're going to go to hell, okay? Because this is the root of all of our liberation. Don't turn it into a fucking political football and strip it of its meaning. We're all supposed to be liberated, okay? You people worked against the liberation because the liberation works against your lust for position, okay? If the pyramid is devalued because nobody uses it much anymore, then your hope of becoming significant by climbing a goddamn pyramid puts you in a feeling, you're putting a feeling of threat over the loss of this significance that you're chasing. And that is why Pharisees kill Jesus. And that is why Christians marginalize true Father, character assassinate true Father. We are living through that right now. You don't even know what you're betraying. I ask God, forgive them. They know not what they do because you don't understand the fourth Adam's realm. Okay. I think Mother was wrong in what she did to Father, but she's still the mother that created the true family. And nobody's going to take that away from her by, in their imagination, replacing her with Mrs. Khan. Okay. And the reason why you think you can do that is because you don't understand the principle. Okay. What's bound on earth is bound in heaven. Okay. So there were no conditions set on earth by people of authority to put Father, to marry Father to Mrs. Kong and divorce. Okay. For God's sakes, when did Father ever break a blessing? Okay. And remarry so-and-so person like that. Okay. So, there's some things. Kyungjin could never say, if you don't come to the returning the true Father's authority blessing, you lose your status as blessed person. He didn't have the authority to do that. Okay. So I chose to be kind to him, believing that along the way, he would get it because he was pure in his relationship with truth, and it was just a matter of time. But other forces kept feeding him false truths until he wants to be a ruler. He used to say, we are here by free association, but now we're betraying true father if we're not supporting him. That's not a free association concept. So if you don't want to see the hypocrisy of this guy, I'm kind to him if I say you're ignorant. I could say you're treacherous, but I don't even say stuff like that in my videos. Give me a fucking break. Leave me alone. Leave my daughter alone. Don't ascribe motives to me that you don't know. And I'm asking God to punish you when you speak motives about me that you don't know. Recede. Act like you just don't understand me, which is to say, reflect the truth of the distance between you and me. You don't know me. You don't understand me. Instead of saying false truths about me, and instead of saying false truths about my daughter. I know why I sent my daughter to GPA, okay? I'm not so filled with political hatred that even a good program designed to allow people to learn to mobilize the spirit world, as Frontline Fundraising does, that I would rob my kids of that just because all these organizations have political problems at the top at the top of these organizations, okay? My kids are to respect True Mother because she gave life to the True family, okay? That doesn't mean that she's a good wife. She was a good enough mother at the stage of birth. Was she a good enough mother to teach her children who they are? Apparently not. Was she a good enough wife to respect father's wishes after he passed? Apparently not. Do I need to say this to dig myself out of this fucking hole you people try to put me in with bearing false witness to my motives? I don't even have to say this shit. I'm tired. I'm tired of you people. I don't even understand why you would think, and I told you in 95 considerations, nobody's going to join a church. And you don't know why nobody's going to join a church, because the merit of age is looking for a certain liberation, and you don't know how you're trying to prevent the liberation. You're guilty of trying to prevent the liberation because you only want a liberation if you can put a false thing at the top of that liberation. You know what? In other words, you stupidly, all of you, Family Fed, Sanctuary, you're trying to create a centralized decentralization. And the only person with the power to create a centralized decentralization is Adam. And his form of decentralization is a true respect for the heirs that came from his sex organ, okay? You are heir, and that means you have authority, but you only come into that in respect for the one who made you. That's why he is King of Kings, Lord of Lords. And that's why even in the Bible, it says King of Kings, Lord of Lords written on his thigh. Because that's the place where the hereditary connection between us as fourth Adam is tied to his authority to make us. And we persist and live as heirs because of what happened at his sexual area. Okay? So most of you do not talk properly. You don't understand who you are. Leave me alone. You didn't protect me from nut jobs, gag orders. Do you see Donald Trump has a gag order now? That's because that was a microcosmic condition. That entire move to bring the church worker to the point of submission. It was a mild submission. It was a public apology. I'm sorry that I treated you folks like that. That's all the condition that was necessary. But you resisted it. Much like the people of this country really want Donald Trump. Much like, and you came at me for my language. Much like some people in this country think that cleaning up language is going to clean up corruption. They would rather clean up language than clean up corruption. There's so many parallels between that court case in the Sanctuary Church and what's happening to Donald Trump. Right now, he's under an unnecessary gag order. And we all know why Lourdes wanted the gag order, because I was effective in the way that I communicate, much like how Donald Trump is effective in the way he talks. So they wanted to take that power away from him because they're hoping to doctor up the playing field to cause his strengths to become not a factor anymore. So you guys need to cut it out, because when we all get to the other side, you're going to see that you played the role acting against the realm of fourth Adam. Okay? The stumbling block from us going to fourth Adam is all these career politicians that won't have significance in their dying pyramids. You people want to create a pyramid. You want to create a new structure and way of things. And you're standing in the way of fourth Adam. When you get to the spirit world, you're going to see that in history, you played the role. Okay? I just had to get the fuck away from you because me being fourth Adam meant that I wanted to help Hyunjin. But when Hyunjin didn't help me do an upside down kingdom maneuver and then started taking your criticisms of me as his, I had to step away. I didn't betray anybody. You betrayed yourself. Okay? Either you're fourth Adam or you're not. Either you're for the decentralization or you're not. Either you're for free association or you're not. So I freely dissociated, and you shouldn't call me a fucking traitor for that shit. Okay? My kids are getting whatever God wants for them, and if they could get an experience mobilizing spirit world on a MFT experience, why the fuck you gotta shake a stick at it? If my kids go to Korea and realize that some of True Mother's experience was suffering, and then they feel gratitude, you saying there's no basis to be grateful to Hak Jahan because of her latter day eras? You think that God doesn't appreciate Hak Jahan because of her latter day eras? Maybe she has vicious delusions of grandeur. And maybe just like Cookchin likes to say, she's like Frodo at the crack of doom. And she's thought of a new rule, and she won't throw the pink ring of power in the fire, right? So she's trying to erect her own circle or something like that. So let's say she actually did that. How the fuck does that negate your need for a mother? So that when forces come against you and say, it doesn't mean anything that you were born from true parent sex organs, you could say, no, the sex that created me is legitimate. It's legitimate. It's not illegitimate. It's not illicit. And so I don't have original sin. You're gonna make that claim while throwing the woman who actually did it under the bus. You're a goddamn fool. You are a fool. And it makes me wonder if you ever understood what the principle really is about. Okay? I'm calling it the way that it is. I'm saying she's successful and our identities are rooted in that success. If you could throw a stick at her for her motherhood, for the minimum condition of being true mother, you're destroying yourself. But you don't understand the principle enough to understand that you're destroying yourself. Just because she sucks as a wife doesn't mean she sucks as a mother. And if you're willing to say that because she sucks as a wife, therefore you're going to treat her that what the condition she made as a mother, which you need to argue in the history of where you came from. So you're gonna cut yourself in order to hurt her. You're too angry. Are you in touch with how vicious your anger is? You would cut yourself. You're like one of those people, like John Wick. The guy pulls a knife through his hand just to defy the idea that he has to fight against the fact that he got stabbed in the hand. He just pulls his hand and cuts a slit between his cartilage and everything. Right? That's the kind of anger you guys are capable of. It's too much. You get tempted by one bad player into being a different kind of bad player. And I'll tell you this, everything I did is because I believe in the liberation, not only for me. I knew who I was, okay? I knew who I was. I just wanted it to make it easy for other people in the realm of fourth Adam to start modeling the expressions of fourth Adam. Standing up for yourself against the archangel. She's supposed to be your sister. So you're not trying to kill her. You're not trying to get her fired. You're just trying to get her to do a minimum condition of saying sorry for overstepping her public role. Okay? That is upside down kingdom that Hyunjin talked about, which also dovetails with fourth Adamism. So I've never betrayed fourth Adam. Okay? In the face of the entire issue of fourth Adam. This bullshit, king shit that he's talking about, it's fallacious. It's fallacious. Especially if it means that he's replaced father. He cannot replace father. Okay? If it means he's an heir, then we're all heirs. But if it means we must obey him, which was the grounds for dissolving the match, that's bullshit. And I told him, I'm not supposed to obey you. Because one of the things in the realm of fourth Adam is, as a grown man, I'm supposed to follow conscience. My conscience needs to be educated by father's words, which is the Constitution. Okay? The Constitution is exercised through obedience and alignment with my conscience. Okay? That's the first line of defense against treachery, is me acting conscientiously. That is an idea from the liberation. Listen, don't bother my kids. Okay? At some point, when people take to heart the realm of liberation and the idea that the third Adam's realm is going to try to go after your kids or hurt your kids, that will create an entire spirit world that is angry at you for doing this kind of thing. If you don't see that I'm trying to help you, Shame on you. If you think that by speaking against what I'm saying here, you'll get more points, you're actually in a trap called mass formation psychosis. Okay? This is how a group of people feel validated by doing treacherous things like rounding up the Jews in World War II Germany. Because they are socially validated, they can do very treacherous things. I'm telling you, you are more likely suffering from mass formation psychosis as a motive to speak against what I'm saying. Some of you will try to show that you can be rational, and you're going to want to come back at me. And I'll tell you this, I'm tired. I put my case out there in so many videos. You probably talk against them. Trust me, you do not want to listen to people that don't understand me, that don't understand the realm of fourth Adam, make commentary about what my motives are. So, if you're genuinely humble, I'm looking for brothers and sisters that want to flesh out the realm of liberation. There is enough truth in Father's words and enough sincerity in our conscience that we don't need a fucking pontiff to tell us what the fuck to do. But yeah, that's just what I believe. Okay? We can run the kingdom as his heirs, as his flesh, as his body. We are his body. We are not of the lineage of Satan. If you are of the lineage of Satan, you are the body of Satan. Okay. It's crazy that you would even fight a person speaking these values. The only, I represent a newer era than what you represent. So the principal has said that when the older religion or the old style, you're thinking of pyramids and hierarchies in respect to your leaders in the church, that realm of good and evil becomes relatively evil when a new way of being comes around. So you people are the evil, okay? I don't like to say it, but that's what you're being. And evil needs to be stopped. I'm not saying I'm going to stop you. But if you, according to the merit of age, are evil, you're going to be stopped by somebody. So you should just take this as a warning. And, you should turn your mind to actually the truth of God's providence, liberation, the true meaning of the realm of fourth Adam, and study that. Leave me alone, because just bothering me when I burned for your own liberation to see more liberated true owners of true identity that come from true parent sex organs, people that come from true parent sex organs, which means true humans. For you to just say that I made all this shit up because you want to win, that's a huge mistake. That is a huge mistake. So do me a favor, leave my children alone, go study. And when you come in for public discourse, and you don't understand something, don't just jump out there and say any old wild thing, as if it has no consequences. Okay. Then maybe somewhere down the road we can talk, and I'd like to talk about people who are tired of all these organizations. I would like to talk with people who are tired of all these organizations and the encroachment on our freedoms, how to flesh out a decentralized way of being with each other. Because Father said, and it was my first speech with Father, first time I saw him physically, he was saying that the church sign should come down. And I think that was providentially designed that way, that would be the first time that I see Father. So I've always held on to that content. And I have a lot of theories and a lot of examples of how to live outside of the realm of church. I haven't given up on true parents. I've just given up. I haven't betrayed church. Church is currently betraying fourth Adam. That's why I don't like church. I do like organizations that bring about benefits and various forms of goodness, but the church isn't doing that anymore. And there's a lot of evidence for that. And people should naturally, since this is the case, naturally look to migrate to the new merit of age. And if that means we have to flesh it out using the principle from scratch, it is our portion of responsibility in the era after the second coming for us to do that. I'm all about that, but I am not about propping up any hierarchical structure that fundamentally disrespects the true children, the offspring and heirs of God. That is being done by people who don't know who they are, who lust after false gods like position. Their hearts are patterned after the angel. An angel's value is in doing tasks. An angel's value is being trusted so much more than the other angels that he gets a promotion. Okay, that is the emotional diet of an angel. And we used to be the children of angels. We used to be groomed by angels, but it is not an angel organization that we're looking for. We are looking for a one family under God type of situation, and not just service for peace, but we have to know the glory of baby making under God. That means absolute sex. So even H1 didn't talk about absolute sex enough for us to understand that our original sin was removed and we were separated from illicit sex. And we are the people who engage in glorious sex and produce true identities when we produce children. They have a true identity, not the result of something illicit. They have a true identity. And that is a sexual discussion. So some people don't want to have that discussion. Hey, having that discussion makes us look more like father. I'm not the one betraying that. Some of you motherfuckers are. Okay? So much so that you're irritated with me when I bring up that language. You know how many times people filed different complaints against me for talking about absolute sex? You people, trust me, you don't know who the fuck you are. Okay? You have the body of heirs. You don't have the mind of heirs. You don't know who you are. And that's one of the biggest problems. That not knowing who you are, plus the lust for power and position of these people who create and run pyramids, are in a marriage of destruction. And those two forces, you not knowing who you are, and the lusts of these people who have angel motivations, angel values, okay? Meritocratic values primarily. They don't see in the colors of family and lineage, okay? They see in the colors of something else. But you and those people are in a marriage that frustrates the growth of the realm of fourth Adam. All right. Don't come after my kids. You're gonna pay for it. I don't even have to be the one to make you pay for it. The realm of fourth Adam will resent the type of shit that you guys are doing. I didn't do anything to you. Even if I called you a bitch twice in cyberspace, I really didn't do anything to you. And if you think I'm fake for yearning for your liberation, you're fucking lost. You are fucking lost.